The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
I don't like it, okay? The Canucks trade Dakota Joshua for another fourth-round pick. Yo, can we trade Francesco Aquilini for a conditional fourth-round pick? I think I read that in the comments. But like I said, I don't like it. The original trade, maybe I will in a couple of minutes because, yo, it's go Canucks go, and let's talk about it. Again, Joshua. Yes, Dakota Joshua to the Leafs.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name is Kyle Bowen. One love to you and you, and you and you, and you and you. One love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving you the West Coast bias. And my man, oh man, well, what's the point of doing an intro? Okay, Dakota Joshua gets traded for a fourth-round pick. And this news was broken to me, not just by Thomas Drance, but by my cousin who's an Oilers fan, okay? And that means something. That does, okay? That dude has watched a lot of playoff hockey over the last handful of years, okay? Over the last half decade, right? And then we had Draisaitl talk about how the series against the Canucks was one of their hardest series. During this journey of theirs. We just had Evander Kane pretty much touch on that point as well, right? The Oilers versus the Canucks 2024, that series, that 7-game series, how tough it was, right? How hard it was. And then, now my cousin hits me up with the same energy, and I'm telling you, it's because, yeah, they were afraid to play JT Miller, and it was annoying to play JT Miller, and it was annoying to play Nikita Zadorov, and yo, look at Lindholm's film in that series too, just a unit physically, right? Another annoying player, playoff player to play against. And Dakota Joshua is part of that debate as well. Now, his stats slowed down offensively in that Edmonton series, but I'm telling you, Dakota Joshua, in my opinion, and should be yours too, because you had your eyes going, you were glued to the TV screen, okay? When certain players weren't up for the challenge, Dakota Joshua was. The Canucks traded, in my opinion, another playoff type guy, another identity type of guy. Again, there's some physicality there if you keep him. Evander Kane, Jake DeBrusk, Dakota Joshua. I keep for sure. I want to see that in April and May, seeing it, if the Canucks could possibly lean on something that most teams couldn't. But here we are trading him for a fourth-round pick. Now they're probably doing that, to shed his salary, to also, bring someone else in the door. Is that Roslovic? As Jax is saying, okay, please not Roslovic. Yo, Dollywall talking about how there have been talks between their camp and ours. And again, now we got $3.2 million off the books. We needed that. And I'm all over the place. Because I really enjoyed Dakota Joshua. And this dude, right? A couple of things. First off, thank you, Dakota Joshua. And stick around, okay? I guarantee in 20 minutes we'll be positive about this trade. I took some notes, and at the end of the day, it's go Canucks go. But let's just say what we got to say about Dakota. Again, thank you very much. Again, a career year last year, 18 goals, gets injured. Why does he get injured? Because he defends Connor Garland in a meaningless game in Chicago. That sounds like a stupid sentence. But again, I'm talking about a playoff type of guy, a guy who loves the game of hockey, knows what he has to do, and that's do something game in and game out to help the team out in any way, shape, or form. AKA, I'll score a goal, I'll make a nice play, I'll kill some penalties, and be on my shit for the whole time. I'll be a special teams guy, and oh yeah, I'll defend my teammates. A bit of a rarity to have all those things, all at once in 2025. Right? Look at Dan Jardine in the comments, right? I think he said right here, Dakota Joshua, great in game one of both series, right? Remember, you can call me a dumbass if you think I'm holding on to last year's playoff run too much. Yo, it's the only bit of meaningful hockey I've scouted for my favorite team in like the last decade, it feels like. And now I'm here analyzing those games so closely. But yo, it is what it is. And again, Dakota Joshua, game one, against Nashville, scores that huge goal, right? Scores that bingo. Did he score 2 in that game? Did he tip that Quinn Hughes shot? My life's a little bit of a blur, but remember, like 10 seconds after that first goal the Canucks scored in Game 1 against Nashville, Joshua does the rest, finishes the game off. Then you look at what he did against the Oilers in Game 1. The Canucks down by 3 goals, and Joshua, to some extent, gets the party started. The Canucks ultimately come back and win that game. And you'll remember the game winner, Connor Garland, making a highly skilled play in a big pressure cooker type environment, right? The game just tied. It's Game 1. The building is rocking. Connor Garland scores a beautiful goal to score, to put the Canucks ahead by 1. And it was the game winning goal. But who made that beautiful touch pass after receiving the puck from Nikita Zadorov to Garland? It's Joshua, because Joshua has that floor level of skill, especially when he's feeling himself. And again, I gotta keep saying this. And again, Alvin and Rutherford are champions. They, to some extent, we gotta understand that unless Rutherford is not drinking his protein shakes, like what are those protein shakes? I used to give them to my grandma. Unless he's not seeing straight, I gotta believe that he knows that Joshua can play well in the playoffs too, right? Thus making me think again that whoever they're bringing in now with that $3 million or whatever guy we get down the middle, they had to do this, right? They had to do this. All in all, though, we lost a guy that, in my opinion, again, has a floor that's needed in the playoffs. Straight up. You fast forward to this year. Obviously, last summer, we get the news, Joshua dealing with cancer, testicular cancer. I didn't really get all the details, but I'm assuming, we're all assuming that, his off-ice regimen last summer either was, non-apparent or just different than what it would be if he was 100% healthy, obviously, right? We didn't see him for quite some time. In fact, I think the first game he played was either in late November or early December against the Islanders, right? And let's be real, let's be honest. The dude looked slow. He looked different. I'm not going to say he looked horrible, though. I'm not going to say that. Because, again, his floor, there seems to always be something there. Even if it's like at the very minimum, you're still getting like somewhat of a net positive. That being said, when he did get his legs under him at certain points in the season, he looked back and he looked physical. He looked a little quicker. And then what happened? He gets hurt again. And it's a hip injury, right? Now, you can't compare like a hip injury to cancer, obviously, but a hip injury that's a big one. That's a big one. That one hurts. And there he is slowing down again. And the whole season, from so many angles, from so many injuries, just, again, all over the place and detrimental. And all in all, I was hoping that the organization would just view some of the positives. And, it's a dude's work ethic to get back in the lineup. But again, just look at the film in like the 5 or 6 games that he looked really, really, really good. Again, like Dakota Joshua, like that quality third line player, that outlier type of player. And I'm like, that's the guy I kind of want to keep. And I want to see what that guy can do with the full summer under him. But hey, as Chris is saying, man, they got some cap space. Again, that's the positive here. They better do something good with it. And we got to bring this up to the OEL thing, right? The penalty that we got to pay for that. Stupid rule. One of the dumbest rules in NHL history. I hate it. I hate how when organizations want to, buy out a player, pay them millions. Again, I agree with them having to pay the player, but I don't need it to go against the cap, right? Come on. We don't need that. The owner's giving away millions to somebody who's not employed for them, playing for them. I think that's like damage enough. All in all, though, the OEL cap hit that we're paying for, I think it's almost like $4.5 million, or maybe it's like 4.1. All in all, do the math. That takes us away from, keeping Dakota Joshua. Again, this team is so desperate for a center. And again, replacing Joshua with Roslovic, if that's what it is, how do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about Again, getting a 4th-round pick and some cap space, as Andy is saying, and a guy like Roslovich for Dakota Joshua. And I got to say this too. We got to press the button. This is one of the best comments of the evening so far, the afternoon. Again, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Canucks. If you're joining us now, Dakota Joshua to the Leafs for a 4th-round pick. And there's some importance in that sentence, okay? Him going to the Leafs. From this comes from Dan Jardine. From Dak's perspective, his POV, this isn't a bad move. The Leafs can easily make him into a 20-goal scorer again. Even if he's a 15-goal guy and he's just banging bodies and he's a good penalty killer, again, you get to the playoffs, he's gonna up his game. Like he just gives me that energy that when push comes to shove and the games get a little bit quicker and a little bit tighter and a little bit more physical. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can you get out of a guy like that? More often than not, like I want to see Joshua playing his second playoffs in the NHL. And he's going to get a chance with the Leafs. And again, the Leafs playing Toronto. I believe Joshua is from... No, he's American, right? Did he get drafted? Drafted by Toronto, though? Or was he was that his first team? All in all, though, Toronto, a good opportunity, right? Still in Canada. Still in that big market. I think the Canucks could have, they could have done this in so many different ways and shipped him off somewhere else, right? What if they just gave him to San Jose? Or what if they gave him to, there's so many good teams in hockey now. Who knows who really isn't going to make the playoffs? Like, how many bottom dwellers do we have? But what if the Canucks sent him there? But after everything that Dakota's went through and how, he had to take this journey to get to the NHL, and it was a bit longer. Again, a former draft pick of the Maple Leafs, gets bounced around and only becomes a full-time NHLer, around 27, 28? Like, really recently? Again, gets this opportunity in Vancouver, but gets to go back to Toronto. There's still some opportunity there. I would say a lot of opportunity there for him to still have fun, enjoy the game. Again, be in Canada, be in our healthcare system, and just seize the moment. Seize the moment, right? And Craig Berube, former St. Louis guy, St. Louis, Dakota Joshua, another connection there. Berube knows Dakota Joshua, right? He has to. I'm doing the math in my head. A lot of opportunity for Joshua there. I think Berube is going to use him well. And, man, Dakota Joshua, 4th-round pick. Okay, we're going to get to a lot more comments about this. Who do you guys think we get to replace him? If we don't buy out OEL, if we're not, hit with that $4 million cap hit, right now we'd have, 7. Is this when the Rossi trade comes in, right? In another universe. All in all, though, who do we replace him with? How do you guys feel about it? And that's life, man. Dakota Joshua. Traded for a 4th-round pick, and I just saw a comment from James Moore that I do want to get to on the other side because he sounds happy, man. He sounds happy. We'll get to all that on the other side, but first we got to shout out a friend here on Locked On Canucks. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Yes, Game Time is that place where you probably could have bought your weekend tickets, right? The weekend. BC Place. What was going on there? No Playboy Cardi, but hey, what if that didn't matter because, you saved a lot of money using Game Time, okay? The place where you get your last-minute tickets at the lowest price, guaranteed, okay? People do what? They can save up to 60% off. Killer last-minute deals. I'm talking 15 minutes, 20 minutes before the concert shows. Just pull up, take an Uber to the front of the door, and just play on Game Time, okay? And something will happen, all right? All that endless scrolling will pay off, okay? Zone deals, you get the seat views, you just Game Time, and you get that Game Time guarantee, okay? cancel protection. They have your back. They just got your back, man. Again, the greatest place for your last minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed. Head on over to Game Time, the Game Time app. Use the code LOCKEDONNHL. That's LOCKED NHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's LOCKEDONNHL at checkout. The first time you use Game Time, you get $20 off. Come on, that's something else. We got your back. We make it even cheaper for you. Okay, who's coming to town? Right? Maybe you want to, the schedule came out. I'm assuming the tickets came out. Get that rematch, right? Dakota Joshua against the Leafs, probably in December or November. And if you want to do so, again, use Game Time. Let's get back to the show. People, we back doing this. And that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks, Dakota Joshua for a 4th round pick. But the people want to get in on the action. I've been ranting about it. I've been stressing about it. And we're almost to the finish line, right? 15, 20, 25 more minutes left. I'm assuming by the time this is all said and done, we're going to be positive because, let's be honest. The most successful teams in hockey, man, they're pretty savage, okay? Anyways, let's get to your comments. Okay, this one comes from James Moore. Dude, come on. Don't Google this guy, okay? Anyways, he's saying Joshua isn't grit. He doesn't have hands. He intimidates no one. He can't fight. He just has a big body with average hands. We got Cap. I'm fine with it. So I feel as if when you say he doesn't have hands, you're saying like he's not like one of the best fighters. Okay, and to some point, I do want to agree with James Moore. Like, I don't know if like anyone is overly intimidated by Dakota Joshua, right? Hockey players are normally tough. There's been way tougher players than Dakota Joshua. But again, give credit where credit is due. Like, this guy will defend his teammates. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Raised by South Park, the WWE, to some extent, Don Cherry, and all those VHSs. That matters to me, man. Having a guy on your team that will defend his teammates without second thought, like, I like that. I enjoyed that. And as Mother Nucker is saying, Dak had soft hands in front of the net. Again, he scored some nice goals in his time with the Canucks. And when he was feeling himself with Bluger and Garland, he just looked like a force out there. And even though he only, I would say, what was it? Let's say he was a standout in the playoffs. Canucks played, 13 games in the playoffs? If my math is correct, 13 games. Let's say Joshua was prominent in like 4 of them or 3 of them, based on goal scoring, based on being physical, based on being annoying, because he's just a big body who can skate. You don't want, the playoffs are a hard place to play. Dakota Joshua makes it harder. Even then, getting paid $3 million. If someone in your bottom 6 can be that effective, like give you some top 6 value based on offensive output, based on special kill ability, special teams ability, right? A good penalty killer. There's a lot of value there. And Joshua at his best, the Canucks may regret this. Well, they will regret this 100%. If the guy they're getting in to replace him or replace his salary ASAP, because it's got to be ASAP, right? Nonetheless, though, whoever takes that Joshua money, if he doesn't pan out, 100% we will regret this trade. Calvin is saying, all I can say is puck cancer. Okay, 100%. Puck that. And Joshua, again, probably has gone through so much over the last 14 months. 15 months. You can't even make this stuff up. Like, he signs that extension after a successful year, and then just so many things happen. And you got to obviously put this into the story that, like, the last 13 months of Joshua's life, 12 months. Extraordinary. Unbelievable. And on the note of cancer, I'm glad he's doing better. I'm glad he's doing well. Again, I'm glad he's staying in Canada. Hey, that healthcare, man. Hey, man, my friend's a doctor. He's a good one. Okay? I'm glad he's up here, and just best of luck. Best of luck. What else do we got in the comments? Dakota Joshua, 4th-round pick to the Maple Leafs. Yo, would you trade Aquilini for a 4th-round pick? Someone in the comments said that earlier. Conditional 4th. Would you do it? Let me know in the comments. Oh man. Hiking Mike saying, I'm amped about this trade. Need to let go of 1 or 2 more third liners to grab that second seat. I like this. Can we talk about this a lot? Because I would much prefer this team not desperately making this move for Jack Roslovic in this moment. If, let's say again, they're patient here. Now they got $3 million. Now they know what they can do more of based on that dollar amount. As the homie's saying right here, Mike, they're one more move away from even having more cap space. And yo, maybe Marco Rossi is coming to town, right? Because that extension hasn't been signed yet. They've been linked forever. I'm cool with that. Like, at the end of the day, if it's Joshua for Roslovic, I'm not cool with that. If it's Joshua for Roslovic in a 4th-round pick, at this given moment, not cool with that. I like the toughness. I like the grit. Joshua, DeBrusque, Evander Kane. I feel like something could have happened in April that would have made teams look at the Canucks in the playoffs and be like, yo, this team could be a sleeper because they're just big. They're different. And those guys just play better in the playoffs when they're not hurt. All in all, though, if it's Josh for something way bigger because a couple more moves have to be made, I like that approach. I like that approach. You know what I'm saying? Man, oh man. Yo, did we mention like? Did we mention how some of the best teams are so savage? Yeah, I said that like 5 minutes ago. Remember, guys, in so many ways, like the best teams just don't give up about what the fans say, like some of the narratives, right? Because like, oh, how could the Canucks just like trade Joshua? Like, look at all he's been through, and like, let's give him another chance, right? And even if we don't, like, he could be like a pretty good 4th liner if he just plays at his floor. Like, just give him a chance. Like, we don't got to move this guy around with all the stuff he's dealing with. Seems like a good guy, good teammate, again, defensive teammates. But yo, the Canucks do it anyways. They're like, yo, we know, you had to go what you had to go through last summer, and you're probably excited to just have a normal summer and train hard, boom, bam, and get back to the lineup. Your favorite team, the Canucks. You got homies on the team, boom, bam. After the year you had, this is exactly what you needed. But yeah, we're gonna trade you. We're gonna trade you. You can't get emotional here. Remember Vegas? Like, Vegas always did this, right? Nate Schmidt, get out of here. They even did it this year with Mustard Salt, right? Jonathan Mustard Salt, like, get out of here. You're still sick. You're still performing in the playoffs. Get out of here. We don't care, man. Just get out of here. Thank you very much. Not really. That organization has had so much success in the last, 7 years, 8 years? They've had like 3 different head coaches. Is it 4 or 3? I think it's 3. They don't care. Look at Florida, man. Florida. Different situation because they got Matthew Tkachuk at the end of it, but it's like, okay, we just had the best regular season in franchise history. There's not even that much outside pressure. The fan base at that point, a lot smaller than it is right now. But again, we had the best regular season in franchise history. Huberdeau, 112 points. Mackenzie Weegar looking like a legitimate number 4 guy. Number 3 guy at least, like this is before he became a number 2 guy. But such a good, just swag, leader, tough guy. Like, he's got great guys. Yeah, we got eliminated in the first round, but let's build on this because there's pieces here. Nope. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Think about that. It is what it is. I mean, look at the Oilers, right? They've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. They don't give a weird comparison, but it's like, let's hire Stan Bowman. Who cares what let's just focus on our agenda. Let's bring in Evander Kane right away. Hold a press conference. Let's bring McDavid on the stage. Let him answer some questions about it. Boom, bam. Oh, what happened with Corey Perry in Chicago? We don't care. Just bring him in. Bring him in. At the end of the day, some of the best organizations, like, you got to give it to them. They're not really holding on to all the emotional stuff, the baggage. they're just following their plan. And we've seen it in multiple cases with, not Aquilini, Alvin and Rutherford in general. Like, they'll sign players, they'll move them. Fan favorite or not, who cares? Right? They just stick to their agenda. And just on that note, to bring up Marco Rossi again, what's on the top of that agenda? It's like keeping Quinn Hughes, right? So here they are trading, to some extent, a bit of a fan favorite, or just somebody the fans want more from in the best way, based on what he went through last year, and based on, again, what he brought us in experiences not too long ago. Here's Joshua, but you know what? We got something bigger coming in. I don't care if it's just a 4th round pick. I don't care if it's still the Leafs. Actually, let's just move him to the Leafs, Toronto connection, boom, man. But all in all, let's not care what the fans say. Let's just get him out of here, because we got to think bigger. And on that note, let's be honest and let's be real. Outside of the physicality, because this player that I'm about to mention doesn't really have that edge that Joshua could play with at times. But Drew O'Connor, at his best, is somebody I want to watch more of this year in the bottom 6. And now he's going to get way more opportunity. Maybe up the lineup, right? Maybe he's a quality 7th or 8th forward, a place that Joshua held, based on salary, based on, time here, based on, again, him having 18 goals not long ago. And now here's room for Drew O'Connor to get up the lineup. And he played really well. He played really well. Based on who he is, based on how much he's getting paid, look at his size. I'm excited to see that. And guys like Max Sasson, Archie Baines, right? Different guys than Joshua, but Sasson a lot faster. Hey, Archie Baines, when he's feeling himself, a lot more skilled. More chances for them, right? Ratu. I know they don't play the same position, but more chances. More chances for other guys to step up, and it's not that grim. It could be worse. All in all, though, who do they bring in, though? That's the big question, and I'm pretty sure we're going to find out very soon. Because $3 million is not like the Teddy Bluger money. Something seems to be, on the horizon here. Anyways, I'm going to read a lot more comments. Ask me anything, okay? Whatever. It's a July edition. Talk about Dakota Joshua, your best memories, but we barely had them. We barely had any good memories at the same time. Can't get that attached to these players. It is what it is. We'll get through this. How much really changes? We'll talk about all that on the other side. But first, we got to give a shout out to the friends. And again, we'll read all your comments on the other side. Again, you're listening to Locked On Canucks. Today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money, okay? You ever wish managing money was easier? With Monarch Money, it can be easier. Whether you're, growing your savings or planning for a big purchase, Monarch Money puts you in the driver's seat, okay? You like to drive? You like to drive with your money? You want to drive a Ferrari? Use Monarch Money, okay? It's your personal CFO, and it gives you full visibility and control over your finances. That's a beautiful thing, I just moved back with my parents. I got to get Monarch Money, man. Nothing against my parents. I love my parents. But I like to cook. And since I live with my parents, I'm not doing much cooking. I'm loving that too. But I want to get back in the kitchen. I got to use Monarch Money. Straight up. And you use Monarch Money. This is the best part, right? We all do it. We all spend a lot of money on food. And we spend a lot of money on subscriptions, okay? Even subscriptions that we don't need. And again, some food that we don't need. Use this app and let that number. It's going to show you that number. It's going to show you how to save off that number, but it's going to show you that number. Let that number slap you in the face. Okay? So you can get serious about that financial goal that you've been thinking about for a long time. Okay? Sometimes, hey, numbers don't lie. Check the scoreboard. Okay? Monarch Money is your scoreboard, and you got to try it out. Okay? You get 50% off your first year if you use Locked On NHL. The code at monarchmoney.com. That's monarchmoney.com. Code Locked On NHL for half off your first year. One love to Monarch Money. People, I think we just received the comment of the year or the episode here on Locked On Canucks, and we just got to get right into it. Dude, I love the math, and I told you, man, in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we're going to be positive about this. Look at this from Jay Bassi, okay? Great move. It clears up much-needed cap space, and we can use it for a second-line center. We've talked about that, but how about this, okay? Jay's saying that he'd rather see Sherwood get that contract next year. I'm going to switch next year to ASAP, right? Kiefer Sherwood eligible for an extension. And I'm going to be real, yo. Maybe it would be a bit more recency bias because it's taken away from the additional math that could allow what I'm about to say make more sense down the road or still, be able to happen. But if they're able to sign Kiefer Sherwood for $3 million right away, and in theory, kind of like use the math that they just made up today and connect it with that and make it make sense to me, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Because it's also Operation Kiefer Sherwood. I don't want this team to get less annoying. Again, we brought up Zadorov leaving, Lindholm leaving, Miller leaving. A big reason why the Oilers did not like playing us was those three guys. Okay, they're all gone. Dakota Joshua, part of that mix too. Kiefer Sherwood, obviously not there. But I want to be an annoying team. I do. I'm sorry. I want to be hard to play against. I'm pretty excited. I was excited to see this. Imagine in the playoffs next April, Dakota's not going to be missing, but I imagine this, right? A lot of chirps between whoever we're playing and Kiefer Sherwood, Dakota Joshua, and Evander Kane, right, on our team. That would have been fun cinema. All in all, we got to keep Kiefer Sherwood. Again, 1 year left. He's going to get a big raise. Based on how many times he shoots the puck and how he had very little center support all season when it came to, I guess that statement comes from a point of like, oh, what if Miller was a lot better last year? What if Elias Pettersson was a lot better last year? Does Sherwood's stats inflate even more? Again, look at how many times he shoots the puck. I wonder if he has another 20-goal season in him. And if that's the case, like, are we looking at a $4.5 million player? I know we did this all with Pius Suter, and we were a little bit wrong, but Sherwood, in a time where Florida's just picking up Stanley Cups, like Kiefer Sherwood would look damn good on Florida. Like the guy's a sexy player you want on your team, and if he scores another 20 goals, like he's going to be $1 million more than maybe what you could get him right now. Again, a journeyman. Maybe he's eager to sign an extension before he proves himself even more. If you can get Sherwood done now because you made this Joshua trade, I'm going to be thinking more positive, okay? Fair trade. And it's like a 4th round pick and more Kiefer Sherwood. And as Emu was saying, Sherwood is our most Florida Panthers type player for sure. And I'm not going to go ahead and compare Sherwood to Sam Bennett, but I want to see how annoying Kiefer Sherwood could get in a playoff series on a successful team and when he's scoring goals. Man, oh man. Next comment. Man, oh man, look at this comment from John. Okay, get rid of Bluger and Tyler Myers as well. Yo, is Bluger on the block? I wouldn't be surprised. Right? They bring Bluger in, help with the culture, bum bam. Try hard type of guy. But we got other pieces that could replace you. We need more money. Maybe a bigger trade is on the horizon, and then we're cooking. Then I'm thinking, well, can we bring this up too? Like, I'm pretty sure Rick Tocchet was all in on obviously signing Vincent Darnay, but also just like keeping Dakota Joshua. And now they're both gone. And I'm not going to play the regret game or that was stupid game because I'm not. Because I feel like maybe if we didn't sign or allocate our money towards Dakota Joshua, we would have signed Lindholm to that deal. And I don't know, like, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what type of butterfly effect that brings? But that scares me. All in all, though, this team is just so different already from that taste of success that we had like 13 to 14 months ago. But this is when I like realize again, like, you got to be savage. And how successful really was that? You can't be that emotional and hold on to 2 rounds. And I know I did that 26 minutes ago, 27 minutes ago, but this is why we do the show. Okay, we get therapeutic, and I'm already looking towards the future. Man, oh man. What other comments do we got here? I feel like even the comments, man, people are already over Dakota Joshua. That's all it took. 30 minutes. Look at this. Henny saying our management is a joke recently at times. I also had someone else talk about how he thinks the Canucks management is on a bunch of meds. Like, what's the confidence level? Can we do that before we sign out? 1 to 10 right now in the live chat. What's your confidence level in Canucks management? 4th round picks. Like, is it 4 out of 10 based on how many 4th round picks you're getting? For me, it's gone from a 9.5 to an 8. Okay, to an 8. Yeah. For G. Ellis, it's 2. For Stephen Meyer, it's 7. Damn, G. Ellis is 2, man. Look what he's saying. He's saying this trade just stinks. The Canucks management had a chance to trade Demko and screwed it all up. Yo, so many moving parts. Like, yo, the Oilers were so annoyed at the Vancouver Canucks. That was their hardest series ever. Miller, Zadorov, Lindholm, Joshua, just an annoying team to play against. How about playing against Archer, Shelovs too? Oh, he's gone as well. Look at Dan Jardine saying 5 out of 10. Roma Tikin or Ticklin saying 7 out of 10. Ah, man, this is the daily reminder, man. If you're a Canucks fan, drink water, go for a walk, try to live till 110. It may be your only chance to ever witness a Stanley Cup, okay? Look at Chris saying 4 out of 10. Seth saying 7.6. One love to Dakota Joshua, man. One love to Dakota Joshua again, a Toronto Maple Leaf. And just like that, man, just like that. So much has changed. Some people want me to talk about Garland and his connection with Joshua. It is what it is. Again, when your team doesn't win a lot, obviously you can't keep everyone and you can't keep everyone happy. And dude, this guy Garland already, played the best friend card. Yo, you got to keep Besser, right? Besser, you got to stay in Vancouver, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold on to like how Garland would feel about this and what this is going to do for the locker room. Winning fixes everything. Okay, real talk. As much as like athletes and professional athletes are so different, and maybe this is a confusing thing to say amongst like Canucks fans because of our relationship with the team right now, but they're just uber competitors, right? And don't get me wrong, they like the camaraderie, they like the brotherhood, and in times like those are the best parts of like the whole journey. But your friends become way better friends when you're winning with your friends. So in theory, I'm just trying to say I don't think Garland's met his best friend in hockey yet. Okay, wait till he goes on some long playoff runs. It's gonna switch up because winning fixes everything. Okay. Look at this comment from Glow, though. Another highly disappointing move by management. Cancer survivor isn't given a proper chance to bounce back. This feels like Bruce Boudreau becoming more and more disappointed in their character. When he says their character, he's, again, just pointing the finger at the management. Yeah. Do we want to end on a dark note? Here's another dark comment, okay? We've dropped the ball on almost every front, in my opinion. What we needed was a proper 2 seed to bolster out our top 6. As of right now, this team feels like a bunch of second line and third line pairings / lines across the board. And look at this from Shuda, man. This move is best for the organization, but it doesn't promote culture. Yo, you know what the best culture is? Not ones that involve bromance. It involves winning, okay? So it's got to get better. You got to believe, okay? Anyways, my name is Kyle Bowen, Kyle Bhawan. One love to Dakota Joshua. Best of luck in Toronto. Again, normally I'm not like that with players. Like I hope you make us regret this, but in Joshua's case, I kind of do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You know, like even to the point where it's like, even if we had to move him, because like this next guy we're bringing in makes the math, all correct. But at least make us think that, like, oh, I know we had to do it, but we could have got a third. We could have got a second because he's actually pretty good. Anyways, one love to Dakota. One love to you and you and you and you. If you want to help out the show, tell your friend about Locked On Canucks. Tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your mom, tell your aunt, right? Tell your babysitter. And subscribe to the show. That all helps Trevor's family and my girlfriend eat. Okay? We all love Cactus Club. One love to Locked On Canucks. And yeah, enjoy yourselves. Peace.